That's the thing, the Corbières is huge in as much as it goes from Carcassonne in the west to Narbonne in the east and almost down to Perpignan, about halfway to Perpignan in the south. So it's a huge appellation. It's divided more or less into north and south. So the north part, which is either side of the Aude river, so the old river terraces, it's much more fertile, it's much richer, it's much higher volume, softer, more supple wines. And down south, where it meets the Roussillon, you're going up into the hills, so 500-600 metres, of which the vineyards generally go up to maximum 400 metres. Of these limestone hills are much more rugged, much drier, much more arid, which gives you much more concentrated, powerful wines. As generally with these things, you'll be tasting wines in places that have someone as a front of house, and there aren't a huge number of places like that. So it's generally the bigger structures, so whether it's a bigger chateau or a bigger cooperative that has a front of house welcome. Otherwise, there's people, for example, like us, and a lot of people like us, who are small producers, who do everything from A to Z, who welcome people with great pleasure. However, you generally have to make an appointment to come see us and come see others like us. So it depends what you're after, how if you have particular ideas in your mind, particular people you want to go and see. But it's generally worth just ringing up, just in case, just to make sure, just to not be disappointed. But there's a lot of different people doing a lot of different things, so it's worth doing it. It's worth kind of scratching the surface as well. There's also a big difference that I didn't mention between East and West, because by the time you're getting to Carcassonne, it's not central France by any stretch of the imagination. It's much more inland. It's much richer in terms of soil, in terms of what is grown there as well. It's less of a monoculture. Whereas towards the Mediterranean, with the exception of olives, it's pretty much a monoculture. Obviously, you have cuisine-wise, you have more of an influence of seafood the closer to the coast you get. It's very logical. Whereas towards the interior, you're going more towards. It's not in the Corbières appellation per se, but places like Castelnaudary, like Limoux, eventually Toulouse, where the cuisine is much richer, it's much more powerful, I guess you say, less Mediterranean, so less tomato, less olives, more game, more lentils. So there's a distinct difference east and west of which you see within this appellation. Beware what you create. Its arms are long.